OK, as usual, 大家喜欢的再搞一个。OK, as usual, 大家喜欢的再搞一个。Okay, as usual. Okay, the quiz here. So, welcome back to this channel, guys. And tonight we gonna have some theory crafting and also some Eternal road. So, who is here thinking about the double expander? Because tonight is the last day of the double expander. So if you do have any questions, feel free to ask me which one among these banner is worth pulling or not. And you know, if you do put your units, and yeah, because it depends on your supporter and your pilot whether you need to pull the DX or not. So yeah, if you do put your lineup and some idea, I might be able to give you some advice. So hi Red Fire, welcome to the stream. Hi my hero, the Echo is here. Hey, welcome to the stream. So here, as usual, I'm gonna do some dailies first. So we have the shop, and after that we go to missions, to here, and the character request. This one, right? The title got me interested. Oh, hi Leonard, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting because I'm thinking about using my SP conversion materials, because tonight we gonna have some theory crafting, you know, like what is the best units and pilots for me that I consider very worth investing, you know. But it also depends on the account. Like it depends which supporters do you have, which pilots do you have, and which area should you cover off, you know, because usually most of the time if you do use the SP conversion, it is to cover up your weakness, like the part where you don't have the pilot or the units to do the things. Like for example, in my account, if you have been watching my account for a while, you know that I am pretty much set on the awakened pilot and also you know, new type machine units, etc, etc. So I am actually lacking on a ranged pilot, you know. So in theory it is very good if I have some ranged pilot. That's why I also really want Garrett, you know, like this is a really good ranged pilot. Okay, like I can, if I have him, I can use him in every single range unit that I use. So that's a really good addition, but I decided to not pull anymore, you know, because we are no longer getting the 100 pull free UR. So there is no guarantee that I will get any UR from now on. Like I can pull 3 times, but within those 3 pulls, there is no guarantee that I will get anything. So it's better for me to just wait for MS08 to pull for Apsaras if there is a slight chance of getting a UR Apsaras. Okay, so there is that. So that means that I am lacking in terms of range pilot. Like for example, look at this. Like this is a tank. This is, yeah, this pilot actually sucks. This one is range, the only range pilot UR that I have. That's why I use Mikhail on almost every single range unit that I have, okay, especially the map weapon. So this one also Daryl, okay, but his stats is really suitable mostly for Psycho Zaku. He can be used really well on you know, any Xeon units as well, but still, like the range is 721 for a support pilot. That's actually considered quite okay, you know, because a support pilot usually don't have 800 stats. So that is also really high. Then Ito is melee. This one, look at this. Like Asuna has been my go-to support pilot for almost all the time because the range and awaken stats are equally good. Look at that, 700 something. Okay. And then after that we have Camille. This is why I said I'm set on Awaken Pilot, you know. Then there is also Patimus Sirocco, Awaken 800, and then there is Judo, another tank, and this one another Awaken, this one another Awaken, this one another Awaken, this one another Awaken, this one another Awaken. So I have too many Awaken pilots, you see. So that's why looking at this account, I really do need some range pilot. Okay, melee also kind of need it, but I do have Ito, I do have Domon, I do have Mikazuki. So most of the time you don't also use melee pilot in PvP because you cannot reach your enemy for free-to-play players. So yeah, range pilot it is. And Tifa has been a really good addition. Like, look at this. She is a tank, but with 789 awakened stats. So she's actually really, really strong, especially if you put her on Freedom unit. So yeah, I do plan to put her in one of these, like G Falcon DX. Really great, you know. Not gonna put it in here, and also gonna put her in Vertigo. Like Vertigo is the only unit in Freedom that uses Awakened weapon. Okay, so this is great. Yeah. So Vertigo it is. Yeah, not really that good on the G Falcon DX, but I can do a counter strategy on Masterly if I do put her on the Falcon. G Falcon is. Nah, yeah, the Vertigo is still a better choice. So continue on. This one is a range pilot, but 729 the support range pilot. So really lacking on the range pilot there. Okay. This one is also Awakened. Look at that. Shin is an Awakened. This one also, even though Shin Asuka is a melee pilot on the Destiny Gundam, but the melee only comes out when you have him on Supercharge. So most of the time he is an Awakened pilot. Okay. This one also Awakened pilot, although the range is quite okay, but still not 800 high as Mikhail. You know, this is also melee. This one is a tank, this one is a melee, this one a melee, this one. Yeah, this is the only pilot that I use most of the time for a range support pilot. Okay, so this one is a melee, and that's it. Okay. Yeah, and then there's this one. This is also Awakened. This one useless. Wait. Okay. So among these, when I look at this, I already SP convert the Monique here. I'm fine. I have Garrett, Gato, Mikhail, and Zero Armada for range attacker. See, this is why, like, I don't have most of those pilots. I've been wanting Zero Armada for a very long time, but because I don't have him. But still, like, I need to plan for the future. Like, if I do have a chance to get Zero Armada in the future, that means that I don't need a range attacker EFSF pilot. So what I do need is another one. Okay, so let's take a look. We have Monique here. I already SP convert her. Really, really great. Xeon Violet. Then Giulietta for my Barbatos team, and then Deira, and then Noria, a double support defense for Witch from Mercury, because you only have Suletta durability for a UR durability pilot for Witch from Mercury, so that is a single support defense. So if you do want a double support defense on Witch from Mercury, then you do need Noria, although she can actually be replaced if you just use Ride. Although, like, look at this, defense 725, and then Noria has, not this one, below her, 753, okay? So because when you SP convert an SSR pilot, they don't have the reduced damage taken affinity tech bonus here. You know, they instead have the double support defense on the affinity tech. Okay, so if you do, you only get the double support defense when you are piloting the Witch from Mercury. So it is as if the same as if you use Ride but not piloting an EFSF unit. Okay, So the only thing that matters is just the defense stats, but there is the difference on here. Like Ride is still superior because he has defense by 25%. Over here when you are using support defense, so it is not reflected in here on the stats. So when you use Noria only has defense by 15%. This is why UR pilots are still always gonna be superior than SP converting any pilot. So that's why when you SP convert any pilot, it is to cover your weakness. Okay, so when I look at this, okay, I do want to build this one, okay, because if you have been following me so far, you know, I've been building a map weapon team, because that is what UR units don't have. You know, they don't have as good as a map weapon as an SSR unit, because as an SSR unit you can just do something like this, you know, 4 big zams with this kind of map weapon that any UR units doesn't have, you know, because there are 2x2 units, okay? 2x2 units in the UR unit are mostly only Newiziel, who has a map weapon, and also the what is that? The most useless unit in this game. No, he is the second most useless now. This guy, yeah, the narrative Gundam. This one has a map weapon, like a 2x2 units with a huge map weapon, but this is not an attacker, this is a tank, so you're gonna deal low damage on the map weapon there. And then yep, there are no other 2x2 units. That's why that's the weakness of UR unit, you know, they don't have a 2x2 units that can do a really good map weapon. Okay, so I've already built the Xeon one. The Xeon one is already really good. I do have the supporter for Mobile Suit Gundam, and the comfort, if I do need an SSR alternative, I can always just use a Psycho Saku in here, piloted with Arrow. Hehehe, look at that. Really great. Or I can just use the like put a 5th big zam here anytime. But I do like the idea of having a you know, a leader in here, because if I put the Miorine over there, then Miorine gonna buff up everyone. You know, if I auto them, although it's still better if I put a huge unit there, because it's the opposite. The way I put Miorine over there is to buff up everyone except position 5, okay, because they are all big units, okay, so they can be reached by Miorine, even though she is not using a huge unit. Okay, beyond an EFSF range pilot, SP Watts is the best choice anymore, because my consideration is better off as support pilot SR with his stats than attack pilot SR. They can't do double CS anyway. Exactly. Okay, so always when you think about pilot, you know, the support pilot is always better than the attacker pilot, because they can attack 3 times, but it is of a different purpose. You know, if you do want to kill the enemy in one shot, like for example, like look at this. Can I one shot this? Yeah, I can one shot this. Like which one can I that I cannot one shot? Like for example, if you fight against stronger enemies, if you use a support pilot, sometimes you might not be able to one shot your enemy. That means that you're not gonna maximize your chance step on that support pilot, okay? Because every support pilot has a single chance step, okay, that they can do. So that's where the attacker pilot goes in place, because the attacker pilot always have the advantage of this one, increase damage dealt level 3. Their first ability will always increase damage dealt, so they always gonna deal higher damage than the support pilot, but only for that one single attack per turn, or maybe a 2 attack if you do have a chance step, okay, if you do get a chance step. But they have a higher chance of getting a chance step if you do manage to one shot your enemy. So sometimes even if you have a higher range stats, like for example Watts have a high range stats, they might not be able to one shot their enemy because they don't have that first ability, the one that increase damage dealt. So if that happens, then yeah, you're gonna be missing on the chance step, but you do get a support attack. But then again, Watts only has a single support attack. So it is as if you replace your chance step with a support attack. Okay, so all in all, most of the time, if you cannot kill your enemy, then watch is the same as if you are using an attacker pilot. You get what I mean? Like if an attacker pilot attacks someone, kill them, and then get a chance step, and then hit another unit, and then that's it. That's 2 attacks in 1 turn. Your watch, if he cannot kill the enemy in 1 shot, the first enemy, then he will end his turn right there. And then when his ally attack, he gonna support attack, and that's the same. You attack twice in a single turn. So that's how you judge a pilot. So look at this. Like this is my comfort, piloted by Mirone, but because all of my other units are big units, then I can hit 3 of them, you know, including herself, except for this guy. Okay, so if I auto, she will always use it. Okay, this is the difference between Lacus and Miorine, and also who is the other one? Tifa. Okay, like Miorine and Tifa will always buff themselves. Okay, no matter what happens. So I can give attack burst to all my big Zam if I use Miorine over there. Okay. So that's what my aim. Okay, so I can hit enemies 3 times with support pilot. Yes, I hope on the next update, new map event, the last map event is dual Gundam. So if they are going to do another map event, I want necessary heavy arms, because the heavy arms that is SR is R. What do you mean dual Gundam? Like dual Gundam? You mean dual Gundam or dual Gundam as in 2 Gundams? There are. Yeah, I mean, I don't get what you mean, but I also wish I can have a heavy arm, because it is one of my favorite units. Hi, Mikameon, welcome to the stream. Aren't you Sora? Like, I remember the one that's been saying meow meow meow. Only Sora there. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube has been weird nowadays. Like they keep changing people's names. So yeah, I've already have a really good Zion team. Look at this, you know. So Mikhail there and Elan Ceres. Elan Ceres has been a really good pilot for a map weapon, because you can only use map weapon once most of the time if the unit can only do a single ammo of map weapon, unless you do use Garrett. So you do need to maximize that map weapon, and how to maximize it is to go supercharged from the very beginning. And the only pilot who can do that is Elan Ceres, and then Setsuna, and then full frontal, and then lane aim, and then yeah, I think there are some other, but most of them are UR, and none of them are range. Yeah, lane aim is tank, full frontal and Setsuna are melee. So Elan Ceres has been a really good SP converted pilot candidate. Okay, so if you have an SP convert Elan Ceres, that should be the first one you should SP convert. Okay, he can pilot any unit and go to supercharge from the very beginning of the battle. Okay, so my next aim is to build this. Okay, so this is my Neo Zeon team, and I do want to build the 3rd Neo Zeon in here. Okay, so let's go to the develop, and we're gonna build another Neo Zeon. Let's go. Ta-da! Neo Zeon. Where is Neo Zeon? This one. And I've been saving, like, look at this. This is the most expensive unit in this game. Okay? Look at that. It uses 844 development. What is the development material? Yeah. So, and it also uses the what is this guy? The Shamblo, and then the Sinanju Technical Journal, and also the Neo Zeon himself. And it uses 1840 just to build 4. Okay, so I'm gonna check first. I haven't got a copy of Neo Zeon, right? Neo Zeon. Okay, only 2. Yeah, so it's gonna be my 3rd Neo Zeon. Okay, and I usually aim for 3, Because if you know, like if you put 5 units, 3 are going to be in the front, 2 are going in the back. So the 3 in the front are most likely the ones who are gonna use their map weapon. Okay? The 2 at the back will not have a chance to use their map weapon because most of the enemy are already dead by the 3 units at the front. So usually my map weapon team gonna have 3 of the same unit at the front and two tanks at the back. So let's develop this most expensive unit, and look at that. As a newer player and relying on a lot of development build shoots, what's the easiest Eternal road to do on expert? Okay, the easiest one is gonna be the expert Eternal road one. Okay, I already have a guide on that one. If you do want to use, this is, where is it? Wait, I'm gonna find the video. List. Okay. This one, I'm gonna link this in the chat. This is my Expert Eternal Road 1 guide, and this is the development and other units guide. You do need it. Okay, the easiest one is going to be the Expert Eternal Road 1, because on that one you only have three enemies. Okay, to think about. Okay, so you can basically learn how to do Eternal Road by dealing with these 3 units, and they all have eye field. Okay, so you cannot attack them using a beam range weapon unless you use a UR unit. So you are going to mostly use a physical damage dealer. Okay, so it is very limiting and very easy to do. So this one is going to be my first go-to Eternal Road, and then after that I do recommend you to grab this unit. This one, okay, the Freedom SR. Okay, because the Freedom SR has a tag. Like this is what some of the players mention, you know, the seed bias. Okay, because this guy has alternative series, protagonist, a seed series, seed destiny, one shot killer, and seed series. Yes, okay. So where can he be used? Let's see. I'm gonna go to the ER stage. He can be used on the second alternative series. He can be used on the third seed series. He can be used on the fourth protagonist, and then after that he can be used on the one shot killer. He can be used on the seed destiny. Can be used on the seed. Okay, so one unit to clear how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, one unit can clear 6 stages. Okay, so I do recommend, if you are a newer player, SP convert one of these. I don't recommend to SP convert more than one. Okay, SP convert one of these, and that's it. Use him in all those 6 stages. Okay, if you're a new player. Okay, so that's that. And then after that, the rest of the stages, it depends on your gacha luck. Okay, whatever units you get the most, you just clear the Eternal Road. Okay. Lacus needs 2 pilots. Attention up to use her MP up on auto. Yes, exactly. So Miorine and Tifa will always spam their AoE buff, while Lacus will only auto on her MP up skill when there are 2 allies who are already at 5 MP. Okay, so it is very limiting. So Lacus cannot use this. Where is Lacus? This one. Okay, Lacus will not spam this unless there are allies who has this thing. Okay. So Gundam is from Seed series, from the last map event when Hathaway came out. So I just hope it's the next map event. Oh yeah, not dual Gundam. I mean, you mean dual Gundam, right? Dual. This one, right? Dual Gundam. Ta-da! Yeah, dual Gundam. Okay, so yeah, I do hope they give us another free SSR units, and I do hope it's a heavy arms. But I mean, like, that's my favorite unit, but I also don't want them to give away a free heavy arms, because most of the time a free unit is always lacking something. Okay, they are inferior to a gacha unit most of the time, and even inferior to a development unit. Okay. My SP convert pilots are Watts, Alan, and the Zion biggest range stats. I forgot his name. Who? Because I don't see any other pilot word SP on my account condition. Okay, thank you. Simply randomly just pop on my face viewing. Okay, I hope we can see other word SP pilot watching your videos. Okay, I'm glad I already maxed it. Seed bias is high with me anyways. So Seed was the first player I've been without maxing. Yes, it's me enchanted double Z instead, but I never have the chance to use him. I use him for my double Z Eternal. Yeah, if you SP your double and enhance, I think you mean enhanced double Z, right? The enhanced double Z, this one. Yeah, the enhanced double Z. If you already SP convert this guy, but the thing is that because you are a newer player, I don't recommend to SSP convert this guy yet. But if you do have an extra SSP conversion material, the enhanced double Z Gundam is only good if you SSP convert this guy, okay? Because finally he will have a 5 range weapon that can be used to counterattack enemies from further away. Because for this weapon, he needs tension max or greater, so you cannot use this from the very beginning of the battle. So you will most likely gonna use this weapon, and this weapon sucks. Look at the power, okay? The difference in power. And also this one. Yeah, so you will most likely need to be on melee range. Like, look at this, melee range for this power. So only when you SSP convert this guy, then this guy will be very much worth it. Okay, so there's that. Right, yeah. So continuing on, where is my Neozeum? Okay, but so this is only for me. Okay, because my idea of SP converting a unit is to cover up something that the UR doesn't have, which is a map weapon. Okay, so if I do need a map weapon, I SP convert a map weapon unit. Okay, so just like this one. Okay, so this one I'm gonna SP convert. We have 500. Okay, so let's SP convert this guy. Tada, Neozeum. Yeah, so I have the third Neozeum. Look at that. Power. Okay, and then upgrade the map. Obviously, this is my aim, and then the 5 range weapon and the 4 range weapon. If let's see the power. Yeah, the 4 range weapon have higher power. So if I do use a ranged pilot, I use the 3rd weapon, and if I use an awakened pilot, I use the 4th weapon. Okay. So this is Neozeum. Okay. Look at that, 3 Neozeum. All the same. Do I have this one? This is Neozeum. Yeah. Attack by 8%. Do I have another Neozeum? Hey, unstoppable. Well, quite okay. Let's just use this. Ta-da. Okay, Neozeum team finish. Let's see. So maybe because one of you mentioned that by watching this video, you might get an idea on what to, SP convert. So might as well, I'm gonna just talk about all the pilots that are very much worth investing on. Okay, so by doing that, I'm gonna finish this one first, and then we gonna theory craft on the pilot that is very much worth investing on. Okay, so the next thing that I want to build in here, okay, is this one, okay? This one is supposed to be the Seed series, but apparently it can also be put into a Tough as Nails team because they are all Tough as Nails. Okay. So let me check my Seed supporter. Yeah, I cannot use it. It needs the Seed Destiny. This one, the Seed Destiny. But my Seed Destiny doesn't have any limit break. And I cannot use Mobile Suit Gundam Seed because this is a Strike Freedom. Okay, so only the Seed Destiny, this one. So it's still better to use the Tough as Nails. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna SP convert this to Strike Freedom Meteor. I'm still thinking about this one, the middle one, because apparently the Infinite Justice has a debuff. Okay, this is defense down map weapon. So if I use this in the middle, debuff everyone, if they don't die from the first map weapon, they're gonna have their defense reduced, and then these two gonna use their map weapon, okay, and finish them off. So it's kind of a good idea, you know, to use one support map weapon in here, which is supposedly I could have do the same on this one, but I don't think there are a really good support unit that can be used in here. Let me see. I think the Kshatriya, right? Kshatriya. No, how do you write down Kshatriya? Kshatriya. Yeah. Does this one have a map weapon? Too bad, no. Yeah, I was thinking like if I could have put a Kshatriya in here, then this is gonna be a really good Neozeon, debuffer, map weapon debuffer. Maybe I do get a map weapon. Oh yeah, I do get it, but I need to SSP convert this. Okay, so maybe for the field, but this one doesn't have a debuff, so yeah, no use. So I cannot do the same like what the Infinite Justice can do. Debuff the enemy first before I use a map weapon. So it's still better to just use all damage like that. Okay, same thing for this one. I think I can do the same on this one using a full armor Gundam, but that is not a huge unit either. So this one, the Meteor team have an advantage because this is a huge unit. Okay, the map weapon is huge. Okay, so the defense down debuff can also hit a lot of enemies. So this one, I'm just gonna maximum limit break the Strike Freedom Meteor first. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna bulk develop this 3 because I just have enough. So this is why I want to stream tonight, because I just noticed I have enough material to continue building my team in here and SP convert them. Okay, let's go. So Strike Freedom Sys, this one. We're gonna do this. Okay, go. Yeah, so this is why tonight is SP Convert Bonanza. We're gonna be spending all of my SP conversion. Okay, so look at that. Yeah, and also we get a free 100 SP conversion for the Seed Destiny. So this is nice, using on the Strike Freedom Meteor. Okay. So yeah, the advantage of the Strike Freedom Meteor is that aside from having a really strong map weapon here, okay, the higher map weapon increase, you also have a 5760 weapon power range 5 range weapon. Okay, and the farther you are from there, the weapon power increase. So you can actually use this unit as if you are using any other attacker unit, okay, because he can also do a really strong single target damage, okay, with 11,800 attack there. So that is the Strike Freedom Meteor. Okay, so this one also SP convert this guy. Let's go. Ta-da! I see Barbatos Lupus and I use a pilot that has an MP ability supercharged to deal more damage. Now my next SSP is Lupus Rex. Great, nice. Yeah, I also SSP convert both of the Lupus. Okay. Lupus Rex and the Lupus. So this one is attack, this one is defense. I mean HP. Okay, so set. Okay, so look at that, my formation. Ta-da! Yeah, I don't know if I do want to SP convert this guy. I mean, like, as a debuffer, you don't really need to deal high damage. Your job is to debuff your enemy. So as long as your weapon level is max on your debuff, then you are set. Okay, and also you can use damage taken from beam weapons increase. Okay, so this is great. Okay, and as tough as nails, I don't have any other options. I just put Devil Gundam in here. Piloted by a tank. The Dark Gundam. Okay, so they can also do a map weapon, but that's just another addition because I don't know any other good units to put in there. Okay, so there is that, and yeah, do not follow on the pilot because this is because I don't have a really good range pilot. Okay, so now instead of using Mikhail, okay, and also Alan Ceres, we gonna find a really good pilot to SP convert. Okay. So, originally to build those map weapon team for Eternal Road only? No, it's for a map event, for a tower, basically for any PvE stages, you know, depending on the enemies that I am facing, because, like, for example, the Big Sam, this one, let me see, the Big Sam, this one can be used in space and on ground. Okay, so the Big Zam has been a very versatile, okay, unit to use, while the Neozeon can only be used in space. Okay, space and triangle on the atmosphere. So the thing is that there are certain stages in the tower event where you need a straight line map weapon because his map weapon has a longer reach compared to the Big Zam, okay, to the front. So this one, if you do fight on space, this is a much stronger choice compared to the Big Zam, okay, because the Big Zam, the Big Zam has this range. Okay, so if the enemy is over here, okay, or over here, he cannot reach. Okay, like from the very beginning, your enemy will be in front of you, right? So your behind, your backline is useless. Like there is no point on attacking your backline. Okay, and the power is only 3,840. Okay, so Big Zam is versatile. You can use him anywhere, but in terms of damage, he will deal lower damage than the Neozeon. Okay, the Neozeon goes to the straight line in front. Okay, now for this one, it deals the highest damage, you know, but this guy can be used in atmospheric and also space. Okay, so this is a really good unit, and also because you can be used in atmospheric, you can also be used on the ground. Okay, so the Strike Freedom Meteor is really good choice for a map weapon. So if you don't want to use up as many SP conversion material as me, you better off just build the Strike Freedom Meteor team. Okay, but for me, like, versatility matters for me, and also because my pilot, I have Mikhail, so yeah, the Big Zam is really great for me. Neozeon is because I do have Qbeli and the Sasabi. You know, the Qbeli gets more damage the more Neozeon unit I have in my team. This one, okay. So my Qbeli can be used to finish off the enemy's bosses, while the Big Zam cannot fight against bosses. Okay, so they all have different purposes. Okay, so there is that. This one can fly. Okay, so if I do fight above a water, you know, on water, then I do need this guy. But I do want to see, like, yeah, look at that. There is no usage restriction, so I will not deal less damage when fighting against enemies on water. So on stages where I need to fight enemies on top of water, like area, I need these units, okay? They can fly. They all can fly, and they don't have any disadvantage against enemies in water. Like, look at this. This one damage to underwater enemies is half, okay? But the Dark Finger doesn't, which is his strongest weapon. And also the map weapon doesn't have restriction against underwater enemies. Okay, so they all have different purpose. Okay. Hello everyone, hi Carlos, welcome to the stream. I'm gonna save my SP and SV for Gundam 00MS. I want 00 racer in Fantasy. Okay, good for you. Like again, if you do have favorite units and if you do have other aims, then yeah, don't follow whatever I'm doing in here, because whatever works for me doesn't work for you. Okay, everyone have different account. Okay, so just get the idea. Okay, what I'm doing with my account, and you might be able to do your own things in your own account. Okay? I'm just gonna make a full team of Freedom Gundams, clear event stages. Yeah, like because the Freedom can be used in a lot of PvE stages. So now that I have that, okay, let's go to the pilot. Okay, so the pilot for SP converting, there are notable pilots, the unique pilots that I want to mention to all of you guys. Okay, so we all know now that a lot of pilots have support defense on counter. That one is really good. And then some pilots have, for the SSR ones, they have a double support attack, or they have a double support defense depending on the pilots, but in exchange they cannot have the affinity attack bonus like this one. Okay, so there are those kind of pilots. Okay, but I do want to mention right now the ones that I remember in here that have a very unique things compared to other pilots. Okay, the first one is this guy. Okay, Bernard Wiseman. He is very wise. No, but still, like this is the only mono eye pilot. Okay, so mono eye has been a really good tech because almost every single enemies are mono eye. Okay, especially the Xeon ones. Okay, so you can pilot a lot of units that doesn't have a pilot. Like for example, this one. Overon is an AUK unit. Okay, and there are no melee pilot for AUK tech. So if you do want a melee pilot for AUK tech, then this guy can do it. If you do SP convert this guy, he has 775 melee stats, so quite a good melee pilot. And also with boost critical and melee boost, you can be sure that your damage is going to be increased by a lot, especially when Overon himself has a critical damage weapon. Tada! Critical damage. Okay, so you do need that critical boost. And if you SSP convert this guy, you also do have critical damage. Although this one uses range stats. Okay, so you take it in mind. You don't really need to SSP convert that one. He's already good at SP conversion. So this is Bernard Wiseman. Okay, a unique pilot. Now this one, okay, Yu Kajima. This one is quite unique because he is the only pilot who's on the second ability will increase a support defense again. Usually other support defender only increase their defense when support defending on the first ability, but this guy have another one when he is piloting EFSF and Mobile Suit Gundam unit. Okay, and there are a lot of Mobile Suit Gundam unit EFSF. Okay, so he gets another 15% defense, and he gets another reduced damage taken by 10% and defense by 5%. Okay, so I do want to put something in here. Let me see. I'm gonna put some notepad in here. Okay, so let me see. Maybe I'm gonna display capture this. Okay, so this is notepad. This is calculator. Okay, so let's do some math. Okay, now this guy has, when we SP convert this guy, okay, 731 defense, okay, 731 minus 34, so he has 697 base defense. Okay, so with 697 defense, if he gets all this bonus, this is 15%, 30%, 5%, 35%, so he's gonna be increased by 35%, which is 243.95. So his defense is 940. So Yu Kajima has 940 defense. Okay, so there is him, 940.95. Yeah, let's just put it as 941. Okay, so that is Yu Kajima. So to compare him, let's go compare the UR pilot. Okay, this is Amuro Ray, another EFSF with single support defense, because that guy Yu Kajima only has a single support defense, because he has the reduced damage taken 10% on the affinity attack bonus. So if you see this guy has 703 defense. Okay, 703 defense. Let me see. 703 minus 33. He has 670 base defense. Okay, increase defense by 20%. This is awaken reaction. Another 20%, so 40% defense, and 5% there. So 45% defense plus 45% defense, which is 301. He has 971.5. So this is Amuro. He has how much is now? 971.5. Okay, so that is Amuro. And then we gonna take a look at another EFSF durability pilot, which is Ride. So Ride gets 725. Okay, so the thing is about Ride, he will get this defense if he is piloting NTD. Okay, so he gets 25%, and then he get another 15% in here, and that's it. Yeah, and the thing about Ride is that he has a double support defense in here. So we will see if he is piloting EFSF. That means that he will only get 25%, and that's it. So 725 plus 25% is 906.25. Okay, so Ride without NTD is only 906. Okay, 906. Now Ride with NTD, he will get another 15%, which is the 40%. Okay, so 725 plus 40%. Wait, 725 plus 40%. Okay, 1,015. Okay, so 1,015 Ride. So look at that. Ride, this is why I keep mentioning that Ride is the strongest tank when you give him the NTD because of this. Okay, so let's take a look at sausages. Although before that, I'm gonna go to Jonah. Okay, Jonah, another EFSF pilot. So let's take a look at Jonah. So Jonah has 736 minus 35. Okay, 701 plus 20% and 5. Okay, plus 25%. Okay, plus 25%. So 876.25. So Jonah have 876.25. So you can see here, Yu Kajima, his position is around there. Okay, so Jonah has double support defense, Ride has double support defense. Okay, Amuro has single support defense, Yu Kajima has single support defense. So actually Yu Kajima can be comparable to a UR single support defense pilot. Okay, and if we go to other character here, let me take a look at EO Fleming and probably other things. Let's just take a look at EO Fleming. I don't want to calculate every single pilot, but you get the general idea. You can just do this by yourself. So EO have 798 minus 133, which is 665. Okay, and he get 20% in here, 20% in here, and that's it. Okay, he gets plus 40%. Wait. 669 plus 40%. Okay, 936. So EO has 936. So yeah, look at that. Okay, so this is their position on all the EFSF. We do have lane aim, we do have the C-book and etc. But you get the idea. Like, this is why this guy Yu Kajima is quite unique. Okay, he has a lot of defense because of this bonus. Okay, but only a single support defense. But that is where you use him. Like if you cannot survive the enemy attack, there is no point on having a double support defense, okay? Because you will never use the second support defense. So you do need a single support defense that has that much a defense or damage reduction, okay? So I'm just gonna make a full I hope Goof Custom gonna be word SP or SSP unit. Yeah, sure. Don't forget about Awel. Yeah, Awel, I'm gonna mention him, of course. Okay, what's the def for? To reduce damage taken from enemies. What else? So that is Yu Kajima, okay, very worth mentioning. And then the next one is this one, okay, Shiko Sugai. Look at this woman. If you SP convert this woman, she has 801 melee, but the thing that makes her really unique is that her ability increase damage dealt and mobility when piloting FSF unit. This is just like the Shara's double for the Sharzaku, this one, okay? Look at this. Increase damage dealt to enemies and increase mobility by 15%. So usually a lot of pilots have increased damage dealt and reduced damage taken, but you know, as a glass cannon, like if you go with an attacker unit, you do want to deal as much damage as possible. Leave the defense on your durability unit to protect your glass cannon unit. So the reduced damage taken usually is not as useful on dealing as much damage as you can to your enemy. So having a mobility increase gives you more chance on dealing critical damage. If I'm not mistaken, let me see what is mobility. No, not really accuracy. Like mobility unit stats. Yeah, this one. Yeah, accuracy and evasion. Yeah. So accuracy get affected. So accuracy and evasion get affected, and turn order also, but turn order only affected in PvP. So if you do want a pilot that, aside from increasing your damage, it also increases your accuracy and evasion, then this one is kind of a unique pilot that also have that ability. Okay, next one, I'm gonna be mentioning the one unique pilot is I'm not gonna mention those who has high stats, okay? Because high stats, there are a lot of high stats pilot. Like for example, this one. This is the latest pilot that we get. You know, this guy has 800 to awaken as a support pilot. That is insanely high. Knowing that a support pilot can attack 3 times in a single turn, so having 800 to awaken is insanely strong, especially because this is an offensive support pilot. So attack increased by 15% when doing support attack. So this is a really good support pilot. If you do want to use this guy, like the unit that is really good piloted by him is the X-Astray and also the Dreadnought Gundam. Because the Dreadnought Gundam, if you SSP convert this guy, he has a 5 range 6000 weapon power SSP weapon with awakened stats. Look at that. Okay, so those are the 2 units that he can pilot. Because other units, they don't use awakened stats. Okay, they use range stats. So his awaken will not get used unless he pilot his own unit, but that is for high stats. Okay, you know, I don't really like SP converting pilot because of their high stats. Why? Because instead of using him, look at this, he has 800 to awaken. If I don't use this unit, okay, then I will lose the double support attack. Although even if I use this unit, you know, because I don't get the affinity attack bonus of increased damage from here, then I better off just use Sirocco. Then he will end up the same. Where is he? Look at that. He has 828 awaken, you know, and I have the double support attack no matter what unit I pilot. And if I do happen to pilot a Titans, I do get another increased damage dealt. Okay, so this is why if you only have high stats, I better off just use a UR pilot. They also have high stats, you know, doesn't matter the tag. So yeah. So we're only gonna talk about unique pilot now, okay? So after this, another unique pilot is Argy Mirage, okay? So this one, if you do want to SP convert this guy, he has 715 melee boost in here, and the thing that makes him unique is this one. He is the only pilot who has a force chance step, okay, right now. So we don't have any other new pilot that has a force chance step like this guy. So what is the advantage of force chance step is that Yu Kajima. So Yu Kajima, you are also have a force chance step, but he can only do that when piloting the Blue Destiny UR. So this one also, he can only use it for the Gecko, but at least the Gecko have more options than Yu Kajima, okay? So this one is very unique. Like if you do use these units, if you hit your enemy, like for example the one I told you just now, a support pilot, if you use a support pilot on a Big Sam and you cannot one-shot your enemy, then that's it, you lose your turn. But for this guy, if you cannot one-shot your enemy, he will make sure that he will kill that target on the second attack, because he has this force chance step, okay? So this is the advantage of the force chance step. And especially in PvP, if you cannot one-shot your enemy, then you better kill them on your second attack using this force chance step. Okay, so piloting this guy can be a really good option. Okay, so here is a really good unique pilot that you can use instead of using a support attack. If you do want him to kill his target straight away, then you can use the force chance step. Oh yeah, and also if you do want to waste the enemy's support defense, then you can also use this. Like if you go to PvP, you know that the enemy most of the time they have 2 tanks, so that means that they have 4 support defense. By using a force chance step, you will already trigger 2 of their support defense. So that is an option, because if you use a support attack, then you will not trigger their support defense. Okay, so this is a very good option to use up the enemy's support defense, so that your slower attacker, they can finish off your enemies without being blocked by the support defense of your of the enemy lineup. Okay, so hey baby, how you doing? Hi, I'm fine. A little bit of headache right now, but it's good. So who has force chance step other than Argy? Blue Destiny UR pilot. Yes, the Blue Destiny UR pilot. Let me go this one. Okay, this one. When he is piloting the Blue Destiny, look at this. When piloting Blue Destiny Unit 1, EX chance step will trigger 1 time at the end of combat against whether or not an enemy has been destroyed. But he can only do that when piloting the Blue Destiny UR. This guy only. Okay, so the Argy is a more unique pilot, a better one, because his force chance step can be used on all of these units. Okay, so you can use this guy, you can use this guy, you can use this guy, you can use this guy. Like for example, you can just go to PvP, use the Gundam Asteroid Origin, put the Argy Mirage on this guy and attack your enemy. He will definitely survive because this is a tank, okay? And use force chance step, attack the enemy twice, and that's it, use up their support defense. But the thing is that that's not gonna happen because this is a durability unit and he has a slow mobility. So most likely you're gonna be able to do that if you use this guy, a support unit, or this guy. Okay, so that you move first, waste the enemy support defense, and then go for the kill. Okay, so this is a very unique pilot. Okay, so I also do want to SP convert this guy, but I haven't got a chance to actually try that strategy in action. Okay, I will only upgrade him if I do actually need him to do that. Maybe someday if there is another Master League that I can use any of this unit. Like let me see, like what is your tag? Unstoppable specialized unit, mercenary players. Yeah. So if there's ever a specialized unit unstoppable a Master League, then maybe, or alternative, yeah, or Lightning Fast, maybe Lightning Fast soon. Yeah, so I'll probably use this guy, but before that, maybe not. So that is the unique pilot, okay, that is worth SP converting. And then after that, continuing down here, we have this guy is unique, but I don't recommend you have anything to do with this guy, okay? Because this guy has this. He is the only pilot with affinity tag that increase movement, but he can only do that using this unit, and most of them has 4 movement to begin with, okay? So you cannot really go to 5 movement, to 6 movement using this guy. So if only he has a 5 movement unit in here, then yes, you might be able to use this guy and get a 6 movement unit, all the time. And then a 6 range unit in Gecko. I think the combo of Force Chancellor plus 6 range will be nice on the PvP after SSP. Oh yeah, that can be a really good idea. So let's check if he has a 6 range unit. Most of the Gecko are melee, so I never think about a 6 range weapon. So let's take a look. This guy has 4 range. This guy after SSP has 3 range. This guy has 3 range. Although still, like if you do want to waste the enemy's support defense, then you need to use a support unit. So this is why that the Italian T booster is a really good option, because you do have a 5 range weapon at SSP. Although at SP you only have 4 range, at least you have 4 range. This one has 5 and a map weapon, snipe. Okay, and then this guy has 3 on the SSP. This guy is a melee, 3 again. This guy is a melee, 2. This guy 3 range. So yeah, we don't have a 6 range on a Gecko. That one is preemptive. So 1, 2. We don't have a 6 range unit in here. 3 range, 4 range, 5 range. Oh, Astaron tank has 5 range, 4 range, 3 range, 5 range, 2 range, 3 range. So yeah, none of them are worth SP convert. If you do want to aim for a 6 range, there are none of them have 6 range. So yeah, it's good if you can do it with this one, because while wasting the enemy support defense, you can also deal damage to them. Okay, so use the mobility one. Okay, this one, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Yes, because you do want him to move first. Okay. So that is one strategy that you can do if you do want to SP convert this guy. And the next one, this one is movement, but still you don't have any 5 movement units, so you cannot go to 6 movement. So those are the unique SSR pilot. And then there is this guy. I always mention this guy because he is the only one who can go to supercharge from the very beginning of the battle. Doesn't matter the unit. Okay, so there is him. And then I'm gonna show on this pilot later in the Sausage's website. Okay, so for the SR pilot, because they are not really worth SP converting, because you lose a lot when you SP converting the SR pilot, especially the support pilot, because the support pilot, even though they have high stats, they don't have a double support attack, unlike the SSR pilot. Okay, so the support pilot of SR for me is not worth SP converting, because they lose one whole attack. That is another 100% attack that you lose compared to other pilot. Like for example, for SSR pilot, if an SSR support pilot has 700 range stats, for example, and he can attack 3 times in a single turn because of the double support attack, compared to a support pilot who has 800 or more range stats, but he can only support attack once. It is as if like let me go to do this. Okay, like for example, there is a support pilot A, okay, with 700 stats, and then there is support pilot B with 850 stats, like for example. So when the support attack A attack 3 times, that is 700 plus 700 plus 700 worth of attack, while the B only have 850 plus 850 worth of attack. So this is how much? 700 times 3 is 2100, okay, while this one is 1700, okay. So that is how you actually, like, you know, do a rough math on this one. Okay, yeah, exactly. So a double support attack worth much more than having only high stats. That's why I don't like SP converting pilot just because they have high stats. It's useless. Utility is worth much more when you are SP converting a pilot. So yeah, support pilot on SR, not really worth mentioning. So we're only gonna see the attacker one. Okay, so for the attacker one, yeah, nanti awal. So like for example this one, so like for example this one, okay, I'm gonna show you some of the things that we're gonna take a look at the Sausages website. For example, Quest Pariah here, okay, this is a tank, but she has 700 awakened stats, just like Tifa, okay, because of the coming of Tifa as a tank pilot, okay, it opens my idea of having a tank pilot to deal damage instead. Okay, this is 789 worth of awakened stats. It's even higher than some of an actual attacker awakened pilot. Okay, so if you put her on, for example, Vertigo, you know, she can also still deal damage while also you know, having high enough defense and protect her allies. Okay, so what are other pilots who has similar stats like her, you know? So that's where I got the idea of looking for them. So we do have Quest Pariah in here, another awakened stats with high defense, and a Neo Zeon pilot. Okay, so this is one of the pilot that I might SP convert. Yeah. So by the end of this video, I might after this theory crafting, I might be SP converting Quest Pariah, because I do need a Neo Zeon tank. Okay, and then there is also Owl Nider, our favorite. You know, when SP conversion pilot came out, when everybody got fixated on Choo Choo, I probably the only one who keep mentioning this guy. Okay, this is the one pilot that is very much worth SP converting, just because he has 755 defense on top of 747 range. So even though you are not piloting any Omni unit, like, you can still deal damage. Okay, like he is so worth it that I'm gonna SP convert him right now. You know, like, doesn't really matter whether I use him or not. Like, he is really that good. Okay, so this is one of the pilot that is really great when you SP convert him. Okay, you can use him to pilot any tank. You know, like, the thing is that sometimes you do need a double support defense. Yes, you can protect your allies more, but in stages that you only need a single support defense, you better off just deal damage. You know, after you use up your single support defense, then what else you can do? Just deal damage. So this is the guy to do that. Okay, and also on top of that, he has one of the highest defense in the game, because when he is at supercharge, he get 30% more defense and reaction, which brings his defense to 1000. Look at that. This is a base stats. Okay, it doesn't get increased by any bonus. So that 30% goes straight into 755 plus 30%, which is this much. Okay, 181 defense. On top of this one, support defending. Okay, when he is support defending, he get another 15%. So when he is support defending, that means that is 45%. So what's the number? 755. 755 plus, how much is now? 45%. Tada! Ada fuck. He is as strong as Ride. Yeah. So yeah, but that doesn't include this one, okay? Because reduce damage taken by 10% makes a lot of difference, okay? Ride can have MPL-nya kan jadi bisa pakai ke sana. Yeah. This one has another 15% reduced damage taken when EFSF. That is huge, okay? That is very, very important, but still, you get the idea. Okay. So that is a Well-Nider. If you do need to SP convert him, okay, a Well-Nider. And then there is Elan Ceres. And yeah, I guess I do want to SP convert Quest Paraya, but maybe not. I don't recommend you do the same as me for Quest Paraya, because not all of you are building a Neo Zeon team. For me, I do build this. Okay, I do build this. So I do want to make one of my Neo Zeon as a tank. Okay, so there is that. Quest Paraya also shoot really well on that one, I think. Let me see her range stats. 480, yeah, quite an okay one. So let's go to Sausage's website, and in here we're gonna go to the character and take a look with all those ideas in mind. Okay, so the very first one is the idea of having a DPS tank pilot. Okay, so we can go to the table in here and we can go to durability type and find the one with the highest range stats. Okay, so our Well-Nider is there. Sapa Akuri have 653, but that is low enough. We are only gonna care about a pilot that has more than 700 stats, because that is where you actually make a difference. Okay, because if not, then it's the same as the UR pilot. Look at that, UR pilot also have 600 range stats. So what's the purpose of upgrading another 600 stats pilot? So range stats, we have a Well-Nider. For melee stats, we have Gaelio, but this is UR, okay? And also he gets these stats only when piloting the Kimahri's Vidar. So this is why Gaelio is a really good pilot, okay? You can get this much stats when piloting Kimahri's Vidar. Also the Kimahri's Vidar you can use the SSR ones. You don't need to use the UR ones. You can pilot these other units. Look at this. Yeah, these ones. So among these, because these two are tank, so you're not gonna deal high damage anyway. So if you do want to deal damage using that melee stats, then you can use the Kimahri's Vidar support and also the Vidar attacker. I think the Vidar attacker, yeah, you can only use the Burst Saber physical 1/1 range, and then Alaya Vinaya type E, this one 1-3 range. Okay, and if you SSP convert, then this one uses melee stats too, so that's where you can use Gaelio to deal damage. And then the Kimahri's Vidar, this one has on the drill lens range 1-2, and Alaya Vinaya type E, this one range 1-4, and also the SSP 1-4. Okay, so there is that. These two units can be piloted by Gaelio and get this much melee stats. And me personally, I do like using the Kimahri's Vidar support instead of this Vidar, but I can't remember why. I forgot the reason. Oh yeah. Probably because of the tech, I think. Because this is one-shot killer and ace unit, and rival, this one is only unstoppable, so you cannot really use him in other techs aside from the unstoppable and rival. Okay, so this one is rival, one-shot killer, ace unit. He is much more versatile, basically, I think. But I think there is another reason, I forgot why. Yeah, let me just go. Nggak sih, bukan gara-gara debuff juga sih. Nggak salah. Yeah, I forgot why. So let's just continue first. So there is that, and then duo there is UR. And then after that Johanna, but it's already down to 659, so not really worth SP converting for the melee. So for the awakened one, we have Tifa, and we have Quest Paraya, and then Lane Aim, and then Reza Burel, already at 683. So yeah, this is why I do want Quest Paraya for my awakened tank. Okay, so there is that. And then defense, like look at this. This is Awel Nider with 981. We've already calculated that. And then the reaction. There is this one very unique pilot. Oh, it's not shown here. Okay. There is this one very unique pilot. Oh no, because she is not a durability. Look at this. Ta-da! There is one very unique pilot that has 1,000 reaction. Okay. Well, it's even better now. I use him on DX durability. Oh yeah. Any recommendation for SR EFSF pilot to SP? We have what? Let me go there after this. Okay. So Stella has been a really unique pilot. Although the thing is that we don't really use reaction that much, and when we do need reaction, we need it at the very beginning of the battle to make her move really fast. Okay. So if you ask me convert this woman here, okay, she get 1,029 reaction because of this one extended. Okay, when she is at supercharge, she will get a 30% defense and reaction, and because she start off with this much reaction, like look at this. 792 reaction, it makes her get plus 30% this much. So the math is right, you know, this is because she has a very high base reaction stats, okay? Although she is an attacker, so she, with this much stats, she doesn't really deal much damage, so the reaction is what she is good at. But reaction is used to avoid enemies' attack, so you know, your only use for her is to probably put her on F91 and try to avoid as many of the enemy's attack as you can, but that is still a chance, you know. Like if you are unlucky, you will still get hit even when the enemy only has like 10% chance to hit you. So I just want to mention a unique pilot that we have in here. Okay, and she also has a really good character skills. Look at that, boost critical and MP up. Okay, which is very good for two of that. So we gonna take a look, the one that you mentioned just now, which is an EFSF. Okay, SR EFSF pilot to SP. Okay, so if you want EFSF, okay, we're gonna take a look at range, melee, and awaken. Okay, for the range stats, we have what, Stephanie? Okay, 821 range support pilot for EFSF. This is a really good pilot, but still, like I said, he is missing a double support attack. Okay, so he only has a single support attack. So that means that even though he has very high stats, okay, even though he has very high stats, he can only attack twice per turn. If you include the chance step, then he can attack 3 times, okay, per turn. So he will lose in terms of total damage if you go with an SSR pilot in here that has a double support attack, like probably EO Flaming. Does EO Flaming has double support attack? Let me see. Do you have a double support attack? No, you don't have. You don't have a double support attack. Do you have Lane? Does Lane M has double support attack? No. No, definitely not attack. Yeah. So we don't have a double support attack EFSF. Probably in the future you will have a double support attack SSR pilot. But that is for the range. Yeah. We don't have that one. Probably Amuro Ray. Yeah, this is as close as you can have for a double support attack EFSF pilot. So if you take a look at this, we have 629. Okay, so this is Amuro, 629. Okay, worth of range stats, while Watts has 821. So 821 plus 821, 629 plus 621 plus 629. Okay, so we can calculate how much this is worth. Okay, 629 times 3, 1887. This is basically how I roughly calculate a pilot's worth. Okay, 1,642. See, this is why a double support attack will always gonna worth much more than a single support attack. Okay, let me see if he has a double a chance step. If you manage to get a chance step, you know, with this much stats, let me see, 629 times 4, 2,516, 2,516, and 821 times 3, 2,416, 2463. So yeah, the only time where Watts is better than Amuro is if Amuro with his 629 range stats unable to kill his target. Okay? Because if he is unable to kill his target on his first attack, that means that he gonna lose his chance step and he can only attack 3 times with the double support attack. While if Watt can kill his first target and get a chance step, he will get this bonus from the chance step and this bonus from the support attack, which makes him able to finally deal higher damage than Amuro. Okay, 1887. Okay, so yeah, that's what. Okay, whether he is worth it or not, it depends. I personally prefer to just use Amuro. If me. Yeah. Now, Kairasu here is one of the really good EFSF range pilot too. Like, look at this. She even has higher range stats than South Burning. And Kairasu, if you SP convert her, she has a boost critical, which if you already know by now, a lot of units with critical damage weapon effect requires a pilot with boost critical skill. Otherwise, you will not be able to make use of that critical damage bonus from your unit. So this is one of a really good attacker range EFSF pilot. Okay, so there is Watts, there is Kairasu. Those are the pilot that is very much worth SP converting. But then again, Zero Amada, if you do have Zero Amada, and you don't need the critical boost, although even if you have a critical boost, like look at this. This is Kairasu with critical boost. She get increased own damage dealt by 15%. Zero Amada also has 15%, but he has MP up by 6 from the very beginning. And then she only has increased damage dealt to enemies by 10%, while Zero Amada has increased damage dealt to enemies by 15%. So the difference in these range stats, if you don't deal critical damage, with your boost critical, then Zero Amada will end up dealing higher damage than her because the attack burst is guaranteed, and also the 15% increased damage dealt will give you 5% more damage to your enemy, and also you get 10% more damage from the very beginning of the battle. This is why, again, if you do have UR pilot, most of the time it's much more worth using the UR pilot rather than SP converting SR pilot. Okay. So the Amuro there for a double support attack. There, the Amuro, even though he is far down here, but he is so much better than what Stepney if you manage to attack 3 times, okay, using that double support attack. Okay. So that's how you judge, how you judge a pilot. Okay. So going next with the melee, okay, for the EFSF pilot. I'm gonna read the chat first. Isn't reaction for the Jing chance while attack? Yes. Reaction is for that, but it is still a chance. Okay, like I said, if the enemy only has 10% chance to attack you and you get unlucky, then the enemy will still deal damage to you. Okay, so that's the case. I think they don't mention it in the game guide. yeah, you can go here. You can go to the help, to here, go to the stats, and just check this one. For the reaction, you can go to character stats, and there it is. The higher the value, the higher the character's evasion rate when attacked by enemy units. Okay, so that's the reaction. So this is why Stella, even though she can have 1,000 reaction stats, like it's very situational, and it's like gacha in a gacha games. And also maybe we know the math about pilot's reaction affect the unit's mobility. No, basically, if you do take a look at these pilot stats, you know, like how much these stats affect the unit, this is the calculation. You go to damage formula and calculator. Here you go. Okay, look at this. Okay, this is total damage 31855. Okay, with character attack, unit like this ones. Okay, so if I increase unit attack by 1,000, okay, your damage goes up to 37476. Okay, remember this. Okay, wait, let's go. Yes, same. It's the same. 37476. Okay, so if you reduce this and you increase your attack by 100, wait, what was the calculation? This is 1,000 stats, 37. If I increase this by 100, 35, no, this is 200, I think. Not 200, it's 150, yes. Yup, around there. 6. So you can already see the connection in here, you know, like 1,000 unit attack is almost equal to 160 of character attack. So you can already see there. If you do have a 1,000 mobility for Stella, then like if it is like 300 higher or 400 stats higher than other pilots, then it is equal to 400, about 106 times 100. No. 1,000. Okay. It is as if you get 2,600 more mobility than other pilot. Okay. So that's the connection between unit stats and character stats. Okay, so there's that. Yeah, 150 something of character stats is equal 1,000 of a unit stats of something. It works for both, for all the stats like attack, defense, mobility, you know, and what's the other one? Yeah, no. For range, melee, awaken, they affect the attack, the defense affect the defense, and reaction affects the mobility. Yeah, there. So that is the connection between stats. Okay. So what happens if we put Stella on that side? Hell, yeah, that works. You can try it, but again, like I said, even if the enemy only has 10% chance to hit you, it is still a chance. They can still hit you. So if you do want to gamble on that, then it's up to you. I don't really like to gamble, so I'm not gonna upgrade Stella, even though it's a very unique pilot there. Okay, that one like has 15% evade when it chooses to upgrade, right? Yes, it has 15% more evasion when it chooses to evade than that side. This one. Ta-da! So yeah, if you do choose to evade, put Stella on this guy and get to supercharge, then yeah, you might be able to avoid all the enemies attack. I think the F91 can be better because on the F91 you have a skill What is it? This one, F91. Okay. Oh yeah, not on the unit. It's on the pilot. Okay, so it has evasion by 5%. It's on the pilot. The pilot is the one with the evasion. Okay, so with this evasion by 25%, this is even this is probably even better. I don't know. Like I don't know the which one is better. Like using this skill or using Stella's reaction stats. Like does Stella's reaction stats equal to 25% of that skill? If it is equal, then Stella stats is permanent, while this one only lasts for 1 turn. Okay, so continuing on, for the EFSF, you can see here, you know, for the melee pilot, we have Daryl McGuinness. This one has high melee stats, but you already know, just now I already mentioned C Kosugai. Like this guy, even though he's an attacker, his skill is force guard. Like what the hell, you know? So it's better to just use C Kosugai. This is a really good melee EFSF pilot if you do want to use her, because her affinity tag increase mobility instead of reduce damage taken. And also she has attack burst, you know, that will increase your damage even further. Okay, so for SP conversion for melee EFSF pilot, although if you do have Ito Tsurugi, just use Ito. You know, like why do you want to waste SP conversion material if you do have Ito? You know, you see. So if you don't want to use Ito, if you just want to use like this pilot, then it's up to you. Okay. For Awaken, then we have a lot. You know, we have a lot of UR pilot in the Awaken category of EFSF pilot. So I totally do not recommend you to SP convert any of the SR or SSR Awaken EFSF pilot. Okay, you do already have a lot in here. Anything you want, you can just use the UR. Okay, so that is that for the EFSF pilot. Okay, F91 increases mobility and defense with figure is up. Oh, is there? Wait, let me see. Sibuk. This guy is sok sibuk. It doesn't mention in here. No. It's only mobility. It increases the mobility, yes, while the mobility increase evasion. Yeah, mobility increase evasion. So yeah, that's where he get his evasion. But I don't know if this really worth more than the dead side active evasion when you choose to evade. So yeah, that needs further testing. So that is that for the pilot. Okay, so I've already mentioned the tank with high damage stats. Now another thing to think about is this one. Okay, so I do mention just now about critical boost. Some of the unit requires critical damage. Okay, so for example, like when I pilot you know, like this guy, for example, like I will only deal high damage if I do deal critical damage, because his weapon effect increase critical damage. If I don't deal critical damage, then I will not get the bonus from here, which makes me gonna deal just 6,000 weapon power damage, and you know, I can just use other unit to deal that much damage, like maybe as Gundam. I don't know if this is, no, this is also critical damage. Any 6,000 weapon power without critical damage, like this one. Yeah, like this one. 6,000 weapon power and higher remaining HP. This one will always trigger as long as you don't get hit by your enemy yet. So this one will deal higher damage than my Barbatus if I don't deal critical damage. Okay, so that means that it's important for me to have a pilot with a critical boost. Okay, nowadays I think that critical boost skill worth much more than attack burst, just because there are a lot of units that require you to deal critical damage, especially for Barbatos. Like, you also get critical damage increase in here on the abilities, so it's totally not a good idea to not make use of that boost. So the next thing that I want to find in a pilot is a critical boost stats. Okay, so we have this pilot. Look at this: critical boost, critical boost, critical boost. Although the list in here is not complete. Okay, so critical boost level 5 is owned by Camille and Mikazuki, and critical boost level 4 is owned by Zibu, Kincaid, Master Asia, Duo, and Argi, and then boost critical level 3 is owned by this SSR. Okay, so if because we are talking about SP conversion, so that means that we're gonna talk about the SSR, SR, and the R pilot. Okay, so this pilot, if you do able to find a unit that deals critical damage, then it's worth SP converting them. Like for example, this one, Sophie Punan. This woman has a critical boost and also MP up, really good. Okay, so what are the units that she can pilot? This one. Okay, well, shoot Gundam from Mercury. So there are a lot of options in here because this is the whole series unit. Okay, so among these series units, there are a lot of units that deal critical damage. Like for example, this one, Gundam Aerial. Okay, Aerial rebuild. This one, if you do attack, if you do SSP convert this unit, then the SSP weapon has critical damage by 25% here at 5 range. So if you do want to make use of this, you better off use Sophie Pulon compared to using Suleta, you know, because Suleta doesn't have critical boost. So you cannot make use of this bonus damage. The thing is that I haven't tested this yet, whether Sophie with 776 range gonna deal higher damage than Suleta with 800 range stats, for example. I don't know, I don't think Suleta has 800 range stats. But if you do want to use this, then Sophie is a really good option because of the boost critical. Okay, so this is another criteria that I want to think about when SP converting a pilot. So if your unit has a critical damage, it's worth thinking about upgrading all these critical boost pilot. And this list is not complete because among the SR pilot, I think there is this woman here. Let me see. This one, I think. Yeah, Elia Pasom. Let me see. Oh, she is there. Who is not here? Siapa? Ada itu ada sini. Ini. Kayaknya ada semua deh. Kemarin kita salah ngeliat apa ya? Ada ini. Mungkin sih. Harusnya ada dah yang di SSP convert. Let me find, because there was a time I take a look at that list, and there is a pilot that when you SP convert them, they get a skill, a critical boost skill, and it is not mentioned in Sausage's website, but I forgot which woman is that. This one? No. Who is it? this woman? No. Is it this? No, this one already have a critical from the beginning. Yeah, this woman. I forgot. Can recommend a suitable pilot for Gundam G Falcon DX SSR, Alan Ceres. Yeah, Alan Ceres. There's the news about Gundam Hathaway. We're getting something new. Does anybody have any idea what it is? No. Totally have no idea. Yeah, I can't remember. But be careful about this unit, okay, in here. Because I think I saw that there are a critical boost pilot that is not mentioned in Society's website. So yeah, this is one category that you need to take a look. If you do have units that has a weapon effect of critical damage, then you do need to at least SP convert some one of these people in here, because some of the most of the UR pilots, they also don't have boost critical. Like, look at this, we only have 6 pilots who has boost critical. So if you do want to make use of critical damage unit, then you have no choice but to SP convert some of this pilot here. So if you do find your favorite unit and the pilot to pilot that unit, then it might worth SP converting that guy. Although you only increase your critical rate chance by 20%, so it is still a chance, okay? So do take that in mind. It doesn't guarantee you to deal critical damage even if you SP convert this guy. Like for example, this one. Let me take a look. Ilya Pasom pilot a Neo Zeon. Okay, so among the Neo Zeon, who deals critical damage from here? Let me see. I think Gaimal. Does Gaimal deal critical damage? I do know that Nightingale do deal critical damage. Or the Sinanju. Yeah, either these 3 guys. No, lower remaining HP further Gaimal is not. The Nightingale, yeah, look at this. The Nightingale deals critical damage, but this uses awaken stats. Okay, so Ilya doesn't have high awaken stats. She's a melee pilot. So probably Sinanju. Let me see. Sinanju. What remaining HP? What are the close range? No, Sinanju doesn't have critical damage. So yeah, probably not this guy. Neo Zeong. No, I don't think Neo Zeong. So yeah, this is not a good pilot to SP convert. Let me see another one. Any other? Oh yeah, maybe this one. Marida is an awaken, right? Yeah, look at that. Marida is awaken and critical boost. So she can pilot the... Who was that just now? The Nightingale. Yeah, the Nightingale with his awaken weapon with critical damage. Then you do need Marida. If you do need a support Neo Zeon pilot to pilot the Nightingale, then yeah, it might worth considering Marida Cruz to be SP converting. Okay, if you do want to increase your chance by 30%. So 30% with Nightingale, this has a natural 20% critical chance. So you get 50% chance. So it is still 50-50, okay? So whether it's worth it or not, it depends. Who is this? Oh yeah, this is the Nightingale. This is the Neo Zeong. Yeah, Neo Zeong doesn't have any critical damage. Yeah, so if this is a very specific situation where you do need to think about all these pilots with boost critical, if you do have these units that require you to deal critical damage, okay, but still, do take in mind, like for example, Marida is quite okay because there are not many support pilot on the Neo Zeon, okay. We do have Char, we do have Haman, we do have full frontal. So full frontal is the only UR support pilot for Neo Zeon. So that is a melee pilot. So if you do need an awakened support pilot for Neo Zeon, then this woman, although she can only support attack once, okay, again, that's a disadvantage. So I might, if it is me, I might as well just use Paptimus Sirocco again instead of this woman. But you're not gonna be able to make use of this critical damage on the weapon. Okay, so whether Paptimus Sirocco with 800 something awakened stats without dealing any critical damage on this will still deal higher damage than Marida with a boost critical on this. I think Paptimus Sirocco will still deal higher damage. So yeah, that's why. No, just take a look at this SSR pilot, okay? Don't take a look at the SR ones. Yeah.
Set efficiency 42, F91 46, dua-duanya pakai sibuk maksimum MPU, sama pakai skillnya naikin mobility.
Nah kan kita mau lihatnya Stella, tapi kan Stella nggak bisa dites, kamu soalnya belum di SP convert.
Mobility sama pure evasion. Pure evasion lebih tinggi. Yang naikin mobility berarti termasuk Stella bakal lebih rendah dari pure evasion.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we just tested that. Nah, yang mana yang left side?
Ya, angka plus evasion, yang final evasion lebih tinggi dari.
Ya, emang pasti itu mah aku udah pernah tuh tes yang that side udah lebih bagus. So yeah, that side we just tested a that side skill. This one still give higher dodge percentage compared to increasing your mobility or using the evasion skill. No, evasion skill still give the highest because it is like for Seabook it gives you, where is Seabook? It gives you higher evasion stats. Seabook. Yeah, tahu. Like this skill is worth much more than increasing your reaction stats because it flats out give you evasion, just like how the dead side gives you flat evasion on the ability. Okay, so when you see this increase on evasion by something, then it's gonna worth much more than increasing your mobility or your reaction. Okay, so this skill increase on accuracy and evasion by 25%. This will give you the highest evasion, okay, compared to increasing your mobility. So yeah, Seabook is still a better evasion pilot compared to Stella. So again, there are not many pilot worth SP converting. So if you do need a critical boost pilot, do think about these SSR pilots, especially Sophie. Like Sophie is a really good option, while the Enil is quite okay. The thing is that she can now pilot the Freedom. You know, previously I think she can only pilot her own unit. If I do remember, probably I remember wrong. But Enil with these units, if you do have someone with critical damage, then it might worth using her. For example, this one I think. No, not this one. Who deals critical damage among here? This one, Janice L. Yeah, her own unit. This is the unit that deals critical damage. Look at that. Critical damage by 30%. That is huge. So if you do want to pilot this unit, because it has only 5% critical natural chance, so you do need Enil L to pilot this guy, to be able to make use of the critical damage. And also if you do SSP this guy, then yeah, Enil will be the best at piloting this guy. Okay. So that's the only consideration you need when SP converting a pilot. Okay, so not really that many options. Okay, I don't really like SP converting pilot just because they have high stats. So I'm gonna SP convert this woman here. Hey, let's go quest. Quest Paraya. But that is for me, okay? Do not follow me because this only works for me. Okay. We will make a video on best critical units. You can just go take a look at here. Let me just close tabs to the right here. Let me just remove this, and we gonna go to the weapon effect. Okay, it's quite easy. Like, this is why I like this website. You know, like you can basically take a single glance and find out which unit is best. Okay, providing that he gives the complete information. Okay, so for the critical damage 3, yeah, there are 2. So this is the difference. The one with the sword icon is for Barbatus. Don't know what's the difference, but sausages separate them. Okay, so this is critical damage level 3, this is critical damage 3, only for Barbatus. Okay, so look at this. The best critical damage user is Barbatus, always. And then after that, followed by the level 6 is the crossbone. And then after that, on the 5. So because they keep including the one that can go to a higher level, that means that if you do need to look at the unit that requires critical damage, probably it's worth looking at level 3 or above. Okay, you can also go take a look at level 1, but there are just too many. Okay, so these are the units that requires a critical boost pilot. Okay, so we do have the heavy Gundam. This is heavy Gundam, right? Yeah, heavy Gundam. So heavy Gundam, Dozo Sabi Saku, and then after that the Comfort, and then who the hell is this guy? Gundam GP03 Okay, yeah, the loading takes so long. And the Rairu, then the Rairu, and who is this? I forgot. The Hazelra, yes. And then the Yakusiki S Gundam Overon, the Garadoga, Nightingale, Banshee, Shamblo, the Delta Kai. This one is the Victory, right? I think. Yeah, Victory Gundam. And then after that, the Altron Gundam, the Geminas, the Justice Meteor, the Goldframe Amatsu, the H, the Astaron, the Alfred, and then who is this? Beginning Gundam, I think. Yeah, Beginning Gundam, and then Red Warrior, then Phoenix, and the SR. I don't think it's worth upgrading the SR. None of them are really actually good. Like the one that I know that is good is this one, the Aerial. But then again, it's much better if you use the Aerial rebuild. You know. So wait, the Aerial rebuild is not here. Oh yeah, the one doesn't include the 2 and above. So the 3 ones actually have more complete list. Okay, critical damage level 3. Yeah, let me see the 2. The 2 include the rest. So yeah, these are the units that requires a critical boost pilot. So if you do use any of these units, then it might worth considering SP converting a critical boost pilot, because you do need them if you do want to make use of the critical boost damage. But as usual, I'm gonna be telling you, if their stats is not higher than 750, then it's much better to just use an 850 UR pilot and don't care about the critical damage bonus, because you will end up dealing more damage if you do have a pilot with attack burst. Okay, so do keep them in mind. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing that I think is worth SP converting a pilot for. Okay, so we finally have a Neo Zeon durability pilot. Hey, Ta-da! So yeah, these are the pilots that I do SP convert, you know. Although for Chima Garahao, actually you can have Garmazabi as a replacement because Garmazabi is actually a really strong range attacker, a Zion pilot with boost critical. Oh yeah, I think it's Garmazabi. Let me see. The one with the boost critical skill. Do they have Garmazabi? Do they have Garmazabi in here? If not, then yeah, that is the pilot that we don't have in here. Okay. Yeah, they don't have Garmazabi. Yeah, that's the pilot that I said just now, you know. He gets a critical boost when SP converted. Yeah, there is no Garmazabi. Is this Garmazabi? Nggak ya, ini boost critical level 3 SSR semua. Ya, berarti nggak ada di sini. Tuh. Yeah. So yeah, this is the pilot that I mentioned. Like he gets a critical boost when you SP convert him, and he doesn't show up in this list. So this is why you need to take a look at all the pilots again, see which one gets a boost critical. And that's gonna be your decision whether you want to SP convert that guy or not. Because that guy can pilot a unit, like for example, this is Garmazabi, you know, he gets 810 range stats with boost critical, and this is a Xeon range pilot. And the reason why I instead SP converting Chima, even though she has 790 range, is because she has attack burst. Okay, so like I said, the critical boost is not guaranteed. You still has a chance to fail. So with attack burst, if your weapon doesn't require you to deal critical damage, like if the weapon doesn't have critical damage weapon effect, then it's much better to use the attack burst. So my decision on upgrading the Chima is because for the Big Zam, because I use her to pilot the Big Zam. For the Big Zam, the ranged weapon doesn't have a critical damage weapon effect. Okay, the one that requires a critical damage is a melee. Okay, so they are both ranged pilot, so I don't need the critical boost. That's why I upgraded Chima. But then comes the SSP, and apparently when you SSP convert the Big Zam, the SSP weapon has a critical damage. So now I'm considering if I do ever SSP convert my Big Zam, then I will SP convert Garmazabi. You see, so that's how my theory craft on SP converting a pilot. So yeah, now you know, and probably we already have no time to do anything else, I guess. So let's just sih udah beres. Okay, let's continue. Udah ya, tinggal masukin sini aja. Okay, so Alan Ceres over here. Aku udah terlalu pusing, nggak bisa mikir. Okay, so this one over there, and then I'm gonna use quest on here. Paraya. Tada! Okay, so this is great. Yeah, my tank will be on the Neo Zone, and Q-Belly and the Sasabi will deal damage. So that is my Neo Zone team. Okay, so this one, I'm probably gonna need an orb pilot. Let me take a look. Who is the orb pilot? Not on this one. The rarity filter by tech or So from this who has high range stats. Let me see. Kira Yamete 734. Kagali 702. Okay. This one is a melee. This one is a tank. This one is a range boost, range boost, support attack, but not really good. Like I said, if she doesn't have a double support attack, then it's better to just use a UR pilot without any affinity tag. This one is 794 melee. Yes, he is also one of the pilots with very high stats. Like 794 is a really high melee stats. But the thing is that there are not many orb units that uses melee except for this guy. You know, this is probably the only melee unit. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can also use her to pilot this. Okay. So if you do SP convert the gold frame Amatsu, then it might be an okay idea to SP convert this woman. But she doesn't have attack burst skill, so maybe Rondo Gina still deal higher damage. Yeah, I do think Rondo will still deal higher damage because he has attack burst. Okay. So it's not always a good idea to just SP convert a pilot just because he has high stats. This one sucks. This one is a tank. This one is a melee. This one sucks. This one is a tank. This one is a tank. This one is a support. Okay. Apa? Gak juga, tapi range juga nggak gede. Mendingan pakai Kira. Mendingan pakai ini. Nah itu kan dua-duanya aku udah tank di belakang. Itu ngapain? Gak perlu aku ini ganti sama Kira. Tada! Although look at this, like this is why, you know, like my decision on SP converting something. If I do have Mikhail, look at this. This is Kira stats, this is Mikhail stats. My Mikhail will deal higher damage than Kira. Okay? Because when Kira pilot an orb unit, he still doesn't get an increased damage dealt by 15%, even though he is piloting an orb unit. It only gets reduced damage taken by 15%. So his damage will not get increased further, even though I match the tag. So using Mikhail is still a better decision for me because I'm not gonna use the double chance step either. You know, if I finish the battle really fast, like because at the very beginning I'm gonna use map weapon and that's it. That's the end of my turn. Okay, so Mikhail will deal higher damage on that map weapon. But on the second and the third turn, then Kira will be able to make use of his double chance step. Pros and cons. Okay. So maybe I'm gonna put Alan Ceres in here. The first one. This is why Alan Ceres is like just SP convert this guy. Okay, this guy is just the best. Okay. So just do this. Okay. Miorine gonna attack burst everyone, and then after that, she gonna debuff the enemies, and then Alan Ceres gonna go supercharge, AoE the enemy down. Hopefully most of them die. If most of them die and Kira doesn't need to use map weapon, then he can make use of his double chance step. Otherwise, he gonna map weapon, and on the second, on the third turn, he gonna make use of his double chance step again. Okay, so this is perfect. Yay! So that's how I build my team. Okay, that's how I think about making use of their stats and everything. Oh no! I forgot to do dailies. Come on. Before reset. Come on, before reset. Forgot to do dailies. So I don't think we have time to actually use them in Eternal Road tonight, because in 15 minutes we're gonna reset and I'm gonna rest. I already have a very heavy headache right now. Because all this theory crafting need a lot of brain power. Oh yeah, I also do think that I need to build a Freedom team, because I do have a Freedom supporter at Limit Break 1, so it's gonna be a waste not to use them. Okay, I want a Kagali pilot so badly. I have to wait for Waifu Tower or Sweet Freedom Zero. Yeah, Gold and Rondo are so good. Yeah, you get that Kagali unit assembly. I think so. Yeah. See, the only Kagali pilot probably is, I'm not sure. Whatever she comes with the Strike Rogue. She comes with the Strike Rogue. Yeah, Strike Rogue IWSP. Yes, waiting for reset now. We does use a lot of brain power. We are in time. maybe. Yeah. So that's my train of thought when I'm thinking about something, you know. So I consider a lot of possibilities. I consider a lot of alternatives. That's why I don't just, you know, blindly do something. You know, I consider every single possibility. So whatever I SP convert, whatever I upgrade, already goes through so many consideration and filters. So they are the ones that is really worth SP converting. But the thing is that it is worth SP converting for me, okay? Because I do have a different account than yours. So whatever works for me probably not gonna work for you. Whatever works for you definitely not gonna work for me. Okay? So just follow the train of thought and just do the same for your account, okay? That's why I teach people how to think, not giving them the straight answer, you know, because you will end up getting a different answer than mine. So that's why I built a map weapon team, you know, because a lot of the time, every single units will eventually get replaced by UR units. Just like how an SSR and SR pilot will eventually get replaced by UR pilot, you know, the unit is the same. So the only thing that an SSR unit or SR unit have advantage over the UR unit is when you do need map weapon. Okay, we don't really have a lot of map weapon UR units, so if you do need a map weapon, you have to rely on SSR unit. That's where I get the idea of I'll just SP convert all the map weapon unit then, because they have no replacement. Okay, unless in the future we're gonna get a lot more big units, but I don't think there are a lot of big units, you know, because if you watch the Gundam movies, there are not many a mobile armor. That's why I'm really looking forward to Apsaras. If they release Apsaras UR, then that might be another huge unit with map weapon. Okay, and I do hope the Apsaras has a 360 map weapon, just like the Big Zam. So that will be the leader of all the Big Zam for me. Okay, so that is Apsaras. But yeah, we don't really have that many mobile armor units in Gundam, so there will not come a lot of chances for them to release a huge unit UR unit. And so if you do need a map weapon, you're gonna have to rely on SSR unit. So yeah, there we go. That's my team. Ta-da. And I use them to clear up PvE stages, like I shown you just now. If I don't need a strong DPS, then I might as well just clear the stage using a map weapon. Okay, and if I SP convert them, they can also still kill the enemy using their single target weapon. Okay, so they are great for that specific purpose. Acquire 20 AV with the warship cruise. Oh yeah, okay. I need the warship cruise. This one. Come on. Okay. So just need to wait for the reset in 10 minutes. I'm gonna lie down because I have a very heavy headache right now. And now there are a lot of them in Victory and Crossbone. Oh, there are? So maybe when we go into the Victory and Crossbone story, then we might see a lot of map weapons. So we will see. Although it's not guaranteed because some huge units also don't have a map weapon. Okay? So it's not always guaranteed that a huge unit will have a map weapon. So that's one category that the SSR have advantage over the UR unit. Okay. So yeah, let's just enjoy the background music while we wait for the reset. Or maybe I don't know, I'm just gonna end the stream now. You don't need to watch me do dailies, right? So let's just talk about the banner and just end the stream. Okay, so for the banner, you already know now that the DX really good. If you do still aim for Garrett, this is a really good pilot. Although for me, the ship already sailed, I already throw 10 pulls and I don't get Garrett at all. So I don't like the chance of another 3 pulls. So I'm just gonna save this. Okay. The double X is quite an okay map weapon attacker. Because this one, compared to the G Falcon DX, the SSR unit of the double X, they all require you to go supercharged first before you are able to use the map weapon. So if you do need this kind of map weapon, then the ultimate unit, not the ultimate unit, the UR unit is a really good option. Okay, this will help you clear a lot of enemies because this map weapon hits a lot of enemies, and with 4,800 power, this is quite good, really strong. So yeah, that's the DX. The Virsago is totally optional. Like this is a 5 range beam debuffer, which is great, but the thing is that the tech is only specialized unit, unstoppable, and rival. Okay, so doesn't really suitable for a lot of situation because I myself don't really use those techs a lot. So yeah, this is optional. Sagia also kind of optional, even though this is actually a really good range double support tech pilot, but still there are other options to replace him. The Freedom, this one, on the other hand, the supporter really suck because he can only you can only get the huge boost if you do use all Freedom units and you only have these units. So this is very limiting. Okay, so you cannot really make a really great team with that. But yeah, if you already got him like me, then might as well just build the team. Okay, like I'm gonna plan to use G Falcon DX, just use a map weapon, and that's it. So the Sea Gundam, this one, if you have been pulling for this banner from since December, then this is your biggest chance on getting an MLB unit, because you have 3 months or 4 months into pulling this, so you have a high chance on getting Sea Gundam to MLB. But if you haven't pulled this banner yet, it's already too late by now. Okay, so do just skip this guy, because aside from countering EFSF, there is no other advantage for this guy. Actually, the Penelope is much more interesting, because the lane aim as a pilot, he can go to supercharge from the very beginning of the battle. Look at this. He got MP6 when piloting Gundam Hathaway, and he has MP upskill. Okay, so just like Mikhail, he can go to supercharge from the very beginning of the battle. And Penelope has a preemptive strike, although it requires you to cost MP to cast the skill, the weapon. So there's that. And then this one is also totally optional. Okay. The best one in here is the Gundam Astre Goldframe Amatsumina, piloted by Lowy Gal. A very unique combination, but still. Yeah. Looking forward to tomorrow's Master League and also to Apsara's banner. Before that, we're gonna have the Age Gundam banner first, but I don't know whether they are gonna be good or not. Okay. Will we fish for DX before it disappears? No, I'm not gonna pull that. Hi bro, any leaks? No. Master League team. Rip Carrot. Master League team. This is my Master League team. Tada! I already prepared 2 teams. Okay, so this one is really unique. I'm gonna tell you. You guess first what's gonna happen in this team. Okay. When the banner comes, I will spend everything safe I have on it. Yeah, then good luck on that. Well, now I already have LB3DX. I'm just gonna go from 100 pull. Should I pull until I get MLBDX or just save for anniversary? Just save. As long as you have a copy of a unit, you can always MLB them using this. Okay, not this one. You can always MLB them using this. Okay, as long as you have a copy of a limited unit, so you don't need to MLB them using pools. You know, just get a copy and that's it. MLB them anytime. I use DX on OSKs. For now, I also already have Caliban MLB. So yeah. If you already have Caliban MLB, then you don't really need another attacker. So just save it. Yeah, you can always just MLB him later on if you do change your mind using this. Okay, I do recommend for the Master League medal for you to spend on this one. Okay, the UR supporter limit break material. Okay, so that is that. So that's our stream for tonight. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.